Take to the skies, Yazo the Patinzi, and Quebsy Dinglets, it's MySim SkyHeroes for the Xbox 360. Electronic Arts Sim Studio has been pumping out MySims games since 2007. That's when the series debuted on the Nintendo Wii with the original MySims, and it was sort of a game of customization and building. It was basically like an interactive set of Lego for the Wii, only with a little bit of the personality and social interaction that makes a Sims game. Since then, the MySims games have sort of been all over the map. There have been mystery games, adventure games, kart racing games, all kinds of freaking games. And the only common denominators that make a MySims game these days are the slight customization, which seems to be less and less with each one, and the MySims characters themselves. And this time they've taken to the skies and evidently become heroes. MySim SkyHeroes is an arcade-like game of airborne combat. It's like Star Fox without the anthropomorphic forest creatures. It even has barrel rolls. You fly your plane freely around open 3D environments and shoot down any enemies that appear on your radar. You can shoot standard machine gun fire and lock-on missiles, and there are plenty of power-ups scattered around the maps as you might expect. Now, if you've never played a MySims game, you may just look at it and see the kiddified exterior and immediately write it off, but the MySims games really aren't bad. The gameplay, specifically in this one, works really well. The controls are simple, and they have a similar kind of over-the-top feel to Fox McCloud's R-Wing if you're familiar with the Star Fox series. It's fun and it's easy to play, and especially for the younger target demographic, that's a huge plus. Unfortunately, as enjoyable as the core dogfighting gameplay can be, it isn't really wrapped in an enticing package. The single-player story mode moves at a very slow and tedious pace, and a lot of its missions are pretty boring, let alone virtually identical to one another, save for a different environment. And they mostly involve the same kind of dogfighting gameplay with very little shift in terms of specific objectives. Of course, the combat's at its best when you're playing with other people, and fortunately, the game's got plenty of really nice multiplayer options. It offers 2-player local multiplayer and up to 10 players online, both in airborne races and, of course, dogfights. And there are plenty of options to play and customize, so it's a surprisingly solid multiplayer package. Obviously, though, this isn't a game for die-hard video game flight combatants. Actually, this probably isn't even a game for Star Fox fans either. Decent as it may be, the game's a bit too simple to appeal to very many people beyond its target demographic. But technically speaking, it is solid. The MySims team always makes a competent product, and this one's no exception. It's very well made, and for what it is, it can be a lot of fun. You know, it's refreshing to play a kid's game that doesn't suck, and for that, Electronic Arts gets a virtual high five from CGR Undertow. But one criticism I would make is that as the MySims games have progressed away from the customization of the original, they've sort of lost some of the charm that made it an appealing concept in the first place. The original MySims wasn't fun because you could drive a cart or solve a mystery, or in this case, fly a freaking fighter plane. It was fun because you got to build a house, you got to design furniture, you got to help people. And this, you're not really helping anyone or building anything, you're just destroying stuff. And as fun as that is, it doesn't really feel like a MySims game. But to be fair, it's almost impossible to define a MySims game anymore, and I'm not sure it really matters. At the end of the day, this is a game you can play with your little brother and not want to crash into a cliff. In fact, if you're honest with yourself, you might even have a good time in MySim SkyHeroes.